to set up our first project, you can go to installation. You see, for example, here, so you need the requirement, the system requirement is actually Node.js. So you must have Node.js, at least version 18.8, 18.18 or later. So you can go to your browser, type for, search for node.js.org, and then here you can see that we have a latest version. So you can choose to install the latest version or choose at least 18.8 version to install. So make sure that you have the Node.js installed in your system and you are good to go. All right, guys. So to get started, first of all, we need to create our first Next.js project. So what I can do first, I can create a folder on my desktop here called, you can name the folder anything, but then I want to name this one Next.js, Next.js project. So I want to open this with the VS Code so that I can now add all my Next.js project in this folder. So I open this with the VS Code. Now I can open a terminal. So in terminal, I want to run I want to run a command, so to create now my uh, my first Next.js project. So I can run npx create npx create Next.js app at latest. So now I need to give the name for them for my app. So let's just call this one portfolio. Portfolio. So this is the name for the app. So this is actually the name for the folder. So we are going to have my left side here of my code editor. Right. So this will initiate a project, and we just some couple of options. So we can just accept all of them. Just accept all of them by default. Yes, yes. Just type yes and enter. So you can see that we want to use a TypeScript. So we actually want to use TypeScript. So the rest of the options, you can just accept them, and then enter. So this will create our project, another folder here. So which is now our project portfolio. So this might take a while. So I'm going to take a break and I will get back to this once the installation has completed. All right, so going back to our VS Code now, you see the installation was completed successfully. So now we have our project here. So we need to navigate to this project. So we can do CD or CD portfolio. So CD is just it stands for change directory. Navigate to portfolio. So this is the name for this is the name of our folder, our project. Right. So we can now try to run npm install, but everything was already installed. If it was already installed successfully, so if you see, you can see that we got everything. So there's nothing need to be installed again here. All right. So what we can do, first of all, we just need to run our application. So we just need everything was already set. So we don't nothing else we need to do. For now, just need to run npm. Sorry, can run npm run dev. So this will start our application on a local host and the port 3000. So you can open this. You can copy this link, just copy and go to, actually it was already open, so it's ready here. Right, so now you see this is our first Next.js application. So congratulations, guys. So we managed to create our first application, our first Next.js application. All right, so next thing, what we want to do, so we want to make sure that this is actually our application. So we don't want to be somewhere else. So we want to make sure this is actually our application. So we can go to can try to change this text to actually our application name, which you don't have yet. You can go to, so try to go to app, go to app and then page, and here don't be intimidated of this one. So we are going to work on this step by step. So just scroll down a little bit. You'll see somewhere it says Next.js. You can also speed up by searching. Just do control or command plus F. So this will open the founder. So type Next.js. Uh, so this will search the text. You can search for anything you need in here, but what we want to change actually is a text. It's this text here, this one here. So this is the one we want to change. This is actually an image. That's actually an image. So that the image is gone. So you can replace that with a text actually. Since we are using Tailwind CSS, you can see that here we are using Tailwind CSS. So we can test that by just giving a h1, h3, the class name, and the title. Say welcome, welcome to Next.js plus version. And then if you save that now, we see now this is our text. All right, guys. So next we want to now to explore or work on layout and page. So we want to have a look at that. So you can go back to our project. Close that. All right, back to our project. First of all, in our app here, app folder, this is where we have everything. So I want to walk you through a little bit on what we have in here so far. So we have a layout here, a default layout. So we will customize this layout to include much of the things we want. For example, you can see here we just have a HTML template. So we have HTML template. We have body, and then also the children. So children, that means that everything from, for example, if you go to our page, default page, this is actually the home page. So if you can try this, if you remove everything in here to see, remove everything in here, and then just return, just show an error on, just show a title, Next.js React framework. So we have removed everything. So we can also remove even the footer. You can see that we are including the footer. So that means everything in here, these are children. These are child. All the children. So we got here men and then also footer. You can see we have men and then footer. So we got men and then footer, the tags. So if you go back to our layout, you can see that we only in the layout we only have HTML tags plus body. So the main and footer and the header, if you want, so this will come with the children. Actually, this will come including the children. So that means you will have the possibility to change the header, change also the footer if you want. All right, so the next thing, let's take a look first to see what they change. If you go here, sorry about that. If you go back to our homepage, you can see that we don't have anything. Yeah? So, but we still have a footer. You can also change the footer. You can also remove this footer and then just save. So back, you see that we don't have footer anymore. The footer is gone. By the way, we see that Next.js also makes it easier to for development. So once we don't have to reload after change. So just save after change. You just save your change, and then the automatically it will reload the browser. All right. So you can see that okay, we were including everything here. Footer. We have that footer, and then we can also have that was footer. We can also have header. Header, we can just close the header and then just show it. That title here. It says H1 hello world. So save that one. You also will have header included. Header is there. So now we have a header, body, or main, and then footer. So this is it for the layout. So that means here we only have layout. So the rest of the things or the arrangement page. So we don't have much to do in here. You only focus on building. Okay. Next we have global CSS. So global CSS, we see that we are importing our Tailwind CSS. So we have nothing to touch in here unless you want to change you want to include some font, change the font or anything. The rest of the things. But everything seems to be okay in here. So this is just the global CSS, so we don't need to touch this. The rest we have page, which you have already seen, about the about page, and here is the icon. So 5 icons, so you can change this one. You can put actually your icon here, your favicon here, so this will show. This is actually this one you see here. All right, so this is it now. With the rest we have public. Here is the static files. All the static files goes in here. So in here, if you want to now to organize the things, like your folders, the routing. So by the way, tell you, for example, that for Next.js, if you go to the route, go to the documentation, explore the layout, you see the page, that default which we are seeing here. This page, the page is actually the route. So anything you create here, if you create anything here, you create any file here, folder, for example, we could create another folder here. So you need to go back in here in the app, create a folder called, for example, contact. So once we create contact, for it to become a route, you need to add a file here called page dot tsx. So because we are using TypeScript, so for this one, once go back to a router to Next.js, you see that okay, once you create a page, you can now just include the default function exporter. So for example, here we create a function. Can create a function. So this will actually create a function. So we don't need to import to React in here. This is just a function. So we can use it this way, or you can post the one from React, the one from Next.js, sorry. And then here, just hello from contact. So this page, this file automatically become a route. Once you create a folder a subfolder from this app.js app folder, and then you create another. Once you create a folder in app folder, and then you create a page, a file name page. So this automatically will become a route. So if you are using JavaScript, so this will supposed to be uh, something like .jsx. Huh? Since we are using TypeScript, so we want to use the TypeScript, huh? Like that. So this one automatically is a route. So if you save it and you go back to the browser, go back to our browser. So navigate, just add contact here to navigate to our contact. So this will load our contact, hello from our contact. Huh? So if you want, you can also include the layout, the same layout you see we have in here already. So you can include this layout, the styling, all of that. So automatically Next.js will add this styling, the layout. You can add the stylings. You can copy this styling, just copy everything and go in here. And another thing is this does not need this does not mean anything. So the function name can be anything. You can name it contact, home, anything you want. So in this case, we can name it contact. Just name contact so that can make sense. Uh, so hello world. Here I can say hello world from contact. And then if you save that, go back to our contact page, you see now hello world from contact. So this is so easy for you to focus on building essential things, your building your application instead of configuration, routing, all of that. So you don't need to create anything about the routing, about the route. So if you want to create, for example, about us or about page, so you just go, make sure I'm not inside of this directory. So we will work on, we will talk about the subdirectory or sub-route, nested route later. But for now, let's focus on, let's work on creating another route. For example, um, about, create another route called about. So in here, we just want to create another a page called now, a page called we want to create now a file called page.tsx, and we can also create a function. So if you see the function here, you can actually create a default export function, or you can create any the way you want to create it. So copy this function here. You can copy the function and then just save it. Go back to the browser and then access now about, and you see now this is the route is there, the page is already there. So make sure that the page match whatever route name you want to call it. So if you want to call your route, for example, post or blog, so make sure to create the page num blog, the folder called num blog. So can call a folder called blog, and in here we create another page dot tsx. So you also add a function here, hello from blog. So if you save that and navigate back to a browser, search now for blog, you see now we have a hello from blog. So this is so easy. So the only thing you have to focus on is now start styling your template, styling the template, add the functionality, the features, all of that. All right, guys. So see in the next video where now we can start now exploring Match and then talk about the APIs, all of that. And then also we can now explore Match on nested route. Okay, so to explore the sub route. First of all, we saw how we can create the router. So this is a route, but also there's case that, for example, in a post or blog post. So it is our in this such case that we need to access a single post. So which could access a Slack, for example, the post title one, the Slack like that. So if you go this one, if you try to access this one, you will probably get 404. So how are you going to do that? All right. So in this case, Next.js makes it easier. If you see that, all right, in this case, you can now use what we call now Next.js called now a nested route. Creating a nested route. So here is actually creating a nested route. So that means we need now to add a subfolder called now Slack. So you can call this Slack or call the ID. So this is now the composition of the route, route segment, which now we need to access. For example, if let's take a look, live example. If you go now to our blog folder, so if now we want to create now nested route, we can just create another folder here um, called now Slack. So make sure that this one is going in the square bracket. So this is called a Slack. So within this one, we can now create now a page called now page.tsx. So in this one now, you can also create now the function. You can also you can now create a function, so which now we can now export hello from hello world, hello from um, single page, single post. So this is still going to work. So you can see that this one is still going to work as the same one. All right. So once now the user hit now that page, we get now we supposed now to get that, but we are getting an error. So we need to change this. We need to change this to just a default function. So that create the default function. So change this to export default function, and then page. So I can get rid of this one and then save that. Now reload. So we have now this one hello from single page, right? So now you see, okay, if now you navigate to any page, this will still actually still taking you to the same page. Why? Because we don't have a specific post Slack. All right. So in this case, what we can do is now create some posts and now create some fake post here. For example, I just have some couple of posts here, so I create so that, oh, for example, we have ID1 and ID2. All right. So first of all, I want us to have a look of on something here first. You see, let's create first of all some posts here. Since we have already some posts there, so we can loop them, show a list there, so that we can navigate to each post. But before navigating to each post, I'll show you how we can integrate API and then handle everything through the back end. So to do this, let's first of all create a div, or we can just create a can also follow the AI. AI is helping us to speed up. Okay, so we can map through the posts. So we have our post there. This is a post, a post list or array. So we're just going to map this post and then get each post, and you access now the title. But instead of this, so Next.js bring the navigation between pages very easy, make it easy with the link. So we can actually import link. If we just start typing here, this will import it automatically. You can import link from Next.js. So you can see that Next.js make the navigation easy with the link. All right. So on click, so we want to go now to the post, to a single post. So save this one. So since we are also using TypeScript, so that's why you're seeing this error. So we're supposed to have a model. So we're supposed to have a model, so a specific model that we so we're supposed to create a model or an interface. So we can create here. I'm just going for now. Let's just create here, but I will show you how we can create a model or an interface which we can be reusable. So you can create interface. So let's create. So we want to use AI to speed up. So interface, we create post. So ID, which is number. ID is number, and whatever. ID is number, and then title is string. So this is just to define the data type we need to use there. So this is one of the benefit for using a TypeScript. All right. So in here now, what now we can do here, we can now use now our model in here. So we can now use our model here. So we can just say post. Poster, so is equal to our model we created here. So save that, we don't have any error anymore. So if now go back to our front end, we see this now what we get here. Right. So but this way we can actually now, instead of having the data here, so we can actually just implement now our API. So this now will open a way to, we can now explore much feature. But now to implement API, so we need to create another folder here. Just create a folder called API. Yeah? API. So from the API folder, so we need to create now our post. So remember we have to create the post. So within post here, we can now create our file called route. Make sure to name it exactly the same. Route.txt ts for TypeScript. Right. So for this one, we first of all, let's just add some features, some create our functionality here. We can also, for now, let's just copy this one. So I will show you how we can reuse this function. But for now, let's focus on one thing. We want to first of all import. We want to import. Next.js request. Next.js response instead. Next.js response, and then we can use this one. We can use our post, but by default, first of all, let's create our method. First of all, the get method. We need the get method, and then also for the get, we need get method. For get, so we need to return post. If the response is yet, we can add here handle get response. So once the user make a request, any HTTP request here, so you hit this method, this function. So for here, we can just return post, return JSON data. Okay, so we don't have this post. We don't want to create it here. What we could create this one from here, outside here, so can be accessible from all the poster, right? All the function. So here, if the response is if the request is get, so we just want to return. We want to return next, next response, the one we get from up here, the one we import up here. That's JSON. This one. Thing, the one we didn't import it properly. It's supposed to import this one. Remove that one. All right, so we want to return response.json. So if the response is equal to, if the request is equal to get, so also handle the post method, post request. I keep saying method. All right. So for post, so we also want to return JSON, but we don't want to return that now. What we can do a couple of things there. We are not even there yet. We were supposed to just focus on a get for now, but we can just handle it. We can just create it since we are here. I just want to show you how we can create this quick. That is not complicated. It's so just the same thing been doing it for our main stack, our main stack application. Right. So what I can do, we can do try catch, try catch. So to catch errors, so you can pass the data, pass the request. So we can do const body is equal to await, is equal to await. So we wait to get the request, to get the request the JSON, to get the body from to get the body here. First of all, to convert to JSON, get the body convert to JSON. So what we want to do next is now okay, create now a new post. So we can create post. For that we can do const new post. New post is equal to post. So we use our model there, our interface there. So for post now we can so what we do that, okay, we take our post length, our post length, how many is in there. So we just calculate, you add it to one. So this does not make sense. It is not very important, because if we start now getting if we implement our MongoDB or any database, so we want to need this one. But for now we can just do this temporary. All right, so once we get the data, once we get the poster, we get the new poster. Once we get the new post, what we want to do, we can actually we can just add the post. First of all, we can even make it, just make it easier to just do spread the post body, if you want to do that, or if you just want to get the one from the request, the title and the content from the post there, the body, and add here. So this depends. It doesn't matter for this one. It's just an example. So we'll get to this. I just want to show you an example how we can handle this one. So we can just take the post, our post up there, and then the push a new post, and then return the post. So we can now do we can do next, can do next dot response dot json, and then return our new poster. If we get error, we can actually return error. If we get error, so handle error, return next.json.error message. We can also console.log here the error to see console.error to see that error. So it's not much. So we can also go ahead and add another method, another method or functions, but we can just limit here for now and focus on other thing, because we just want to test the request from our front end. Okay, this is what we have. Okay, so from this is our this actually is our server. So this is, remember, this is from the API. So everything from the API here is a server. Remember, for Next.js, everything by default is server side. Everything by default is server side. So if you create this folder API, so Next.js will consider this one as a router, so endpoints for APIs. So that's why you have to also to make sure that the file you want to use from the folder or route API post must be num as route.ts for TypeScript. All right, so now from our front end here, so instead to hard code this, we can get rid of this, but we can do instead. First of all, we want to bring in, let's bring in, let's import to use state. So we want to import to use state, and then also import use effect. So for here now, we can now create. We want to create now post const post is equal to empty array. So we are using this interface, our model here. And then next, we can also create, before getting to use state, I also want to create another thing here, which is, let's call this, we can create a loading, to check the loading state. So we also want to handle errors. So we can also create errors. Can call it error or error messages, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so we want to use the use state, but before that, we can actually just create the function within the use state. Doesn't matter. But since we will want to load more, add some features, I prefer to just call the function. Just get rid of this one. Get rid of this from here. Just create a function uh, const fetch post, which is actually, I have it here, copied here. Const fetch post, fetch post. So we just make the request here. If we get the error, okay. So we're just going to make a request to, this is a different placeholder. I don't know about this. This is not the one you're using, oh, this is not the one. So what the one you're using is actually HTTP. HTTP, then localhost 3000, localhost, and then port 3000, and slash API slash and then post. So we make the request, we get the data, but before that, we need to check if it's loading. We need to check to set is loading to true, and then also set error message to nil. Error message up here is nil. You can set it to nil or just empty string, doesn't matter. Okay, so for this one, where is the error? Where's the error coming from? Uh, you can ignore that, but to handle that, we could set this to empty string. Let's set this to empty string, and then this to empty string, and then here can check set for error. Right, we can ignore that for now. We will get back to that. First of all, so now if we make the request to get the data, but we have now to see if actually we are loading the data. So we can change this one. Instead to have just to have that one, we can actually use a div. can use div and then check blocks, check is loading. So loading, check if it's loading. We want to check if it's loading, and then also check if we get error. uh, okay, if we have error, we can show error, and then also we can show this post. But for post also we can um, check if our post, we actually have post there. So if post dot length, if post dot length is greater than 0, so we show this one here like that. So you can save this for now. We're going to check that error. So check this and then go back to uh, we get an error. So we need to change here. So if you get this error, so you might I told you by default Next.js everything is server side. So you need to tell it Next.js, okay, we want to use some of the component here in the client. So allow to use this on the client. So now the error is gone. So now we check if it's loading. Uh, it's loading, but we have few things here to correct. Try to reload that and see. So we have couple of things here to correct. So we need to check the dependency. Here we just want to load it once. So just pass an empty array, then save that. So the error is gone. But you can see that the loading is still showing. So don't worry about this, the layout. So we will need, I'm just showing you that. So we need now to find a way to reuse now the layout. Since we have much to include in the different with the same layout. So once we get the data, we need to set loading to false. Okay, the loading is false. So back to our route, post route. You see, we only have two posts here. So if you could add more, AI can help us add more posts here. Let's see. Another post G3. You can also create another one. Another post. The ID. So if you go back and try to reload, all right, now we have four posts there. For the error, we will handle this. So some things. All right, so we will let's check this one after. Let's just focus on first of all to bring the layout. But first thing is, now we have seen how we can actually how we make easy, how Next.js makes easy to actually make the request to the server and get the data. So what you can do here, for example, from the route here, so you can now bring in your connection. You can define the connection, the database connection, and handle all the requests for the database, all of that. But the the first thing was to show you how we can define the route. So we don't have to spend time creating the route. So we just go to API folder, create a route, create a page, a folder, call the route name, or we can call it route. And then uh, add some function in there. So we can also add more from this route here, this API folder. We can actually add more routes in here. So here you see we only have posts, but you can also create users. So you can also create users. say users, and then for users you can create a folder here called route.ts, and then in this one also you can define the same thing. You can define the same method, get whatever, but we will get to this. But for now, let's just go and focus first of all on handling or fixing some errors here. All right. Let's take now a look on bringing first of all the layout. Okay, guys. So before start adding our layout for um, our page, first thing we need to fix some errors here. First of all is handling the HTTP, the response status. So we can check if the response is not equal to okay, and we can also set the error. If the response is not equal to okay, is not equal to okay, we set the error. So else we just get the data and then save data. So you meant to also just here, once you're returning, you see where you are returning. You can also add status here. You can also return the status. For example, pass the status 201, and then up here where you use get method, you can also pass status to 200. So from the front end you can also check such. But another thing here is, you see that up here we set this to a string, empty an empty string. So you can change this one. So you can change this to any uh, sorry, to string or any string or any. Or for now we can just disable. Sometimes we don't know the type of the error message you're returning. So unless you want to specify the error message you return from the server, but for now we can just disable that if you don't want to see that one message. Okay, so if you save that, you go back to our server, our browser, you see that we still have we are loading, we still loading our poster. We still loading. You see that we still able to load our post and display them. All right, so what we want to do, we want to add the layout. So for the layout, I want to show you something very quick. If you go to the first page, you can close this one for now, and then this one. We will get back to single post. This is what we've been working before. If you see what we have here in the main page, you see we have header and then also footer. And then we have footer here. So that means anytime if you want to we want to include this layout in any other page or template, so we must have to include the header and type the same thing, the header and the footer, the main. But you can also just create a component, create a reusable component, create a header, a reusable header, and then also a reusable footer. So this now we can just include it here, header. If you want to include header and the footer, you can just import it. But before that, I want to show you another thing that um, first of all, you need to create first. We need to create the component, the component folder, which we don't have for now. You can create the component to organize our project. So create a component here called a component called create a component for folder. So within this one, you can now create like header and then also footer. Let's go and create that. All right. So first of all, let's remove this header into our component folder. So this is our component folder. So you can just go here and create header dot tsx, and then within here you can now create export function, which just call you can call it anything. Let's call it header. So we can return this one. So we'll just return our header and then save that. So go back to where we are importing, where we are want to use our header. So just want to show the header. Header. And automatically, so I have to check that our header, the header was imported. So we have to check that we don't have an error by going back to our app. But remember, we have to go to our menu. We have to go to our home page where now we find this header. But this isn't good, isn't looking good. So we can actually we can also add the footer. So you can copy the footer and then also just create another component in here called footer. You can call it footer or anything you want. So we just call it footer for now. Export function footer, and then just return footer. Okay, so we need to import image. So if you just try to type in this, you could have import image automatically, but you can import it manually. So import image. What else do you need to import? That's it. So back here, since you are not using image here, we can get rid of this one, and then now we can just use import footer here. Import footer from our footer. So save that and then go back to our application. Wait for it to reload. You can see our footer still here, so you can try to reload to see if there is any problem. Our footer is still here. All right, so this is it. So you see now, okay, our layout is a bit clear. The body is clear, the main is clear, so we don't have much to include in here. So this depends on our design. So in this case, if now we copy, you can copy everything here, this one. So this depend which size, which template, how which tags you want to use within your HTML template or within the page. For example, in here, we just want to show, we want to replace everything here. We want to wrap everything here with the header. So instead to just copy everything, let's just copy, first of all, copy the class, because we just want the class, add a class here. And then also want the main, we also want to copy this class, and within this one, we can do wrap here main, create another main tag here, and then just pass the class. So we just want to wrap everything in here. Copy everything and place it inside the main. So save it, and then now go back to our blog. This is our blog. Now you can see now our blog looks different, right? So but now if you want, you can now include the, if you want to use the footer, You can use the footer. If you also want to use the header, so you can choose to use the header. This depends now on you. Header. And if you save that, so the header and footer that is still there. So this you can also try to make some a little bit of modification to make it looks nicer. Yeah. Okay. So this is it. So you can try to style it a little bit the way you want. But for now, let's just work on now on a first of all get a proper header and then proper footer, so we can also now add another the rest of the template. Okay, so another thing is I want to talk to you about is that you see how easy it was to create the pages, create the routes, create the server or handle everything. You see, it was much easier. So that means you can build fast, so you don't have to spend time configuring the server side, all of that, the routing and registering, all of this. So here, we just focus on building your application. So that's the power of Next.js. So the rest, we got configuration files, which we don't need to touch on any of them for now. We got TypeScript configuration, Tailwind CSS, our package that just JSON, and then also Next.js. So you don't need to touch any of this for now. We're just going to focus on we are just going to focus on building our application. All right. Okay. Um, let's take a moment now to work on the styling, creating the proper footer for our application, and then also create the header. All right, guys. So now let's first of all start with the footer. We can use a Flowbit. So you go to your browser, just type Flowbit. So here we can actually find some good stuff here we can use for application. So we can search for footer. This will speed up our development. So search for footer. You can choose from this footer any. Um, for me, I think I need this one. I can take this one because I don't want to spend much time on styling the footer. So just copy, and then go back to our project. But before our project, so go to your app. Before styling the footer, go first of all to our app. And then go to global CSS. So I want to make a little bit of adjustment here. You see our font is very small, so you can increase it a little bit. I like it, but I want to increase it just a little bit. So you can do uh, font size, font size to, let's try 16. How does 16 looks like? 16 is still small. Can try to increase maybe to 20, maybe to 26. That's not bad. It's not bad compared to this one, and also it's okay. So you can try to 26 or 24 pixel. It's still also okay. Okay, so another thing is you can also style that way, yeah? Or you can alternatively you can go to layout. Here's a layout. You can style. You can also add font. Let's say text. No, the text. Sorry, text size. Text to let's say text to small, and then from large screen or medium, set text, text to base. That will be big, so we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. That's actually small, but I prefer the other way. Is good. The other way around is good. So this is just the way you can try it. Yeah? You can try to set your size you want. All right, let's close this for now. We don't need this, and then also close this. For footer, if you go to our footer, this is the footer we have. Um, we can remove everything. Remove everything here and then paste the one you copy from Flowbit here. So just go click. So do control plus dot or command plus dot, and then this will get this small window, or you can also do fix all. You can search for fix all. I'm not sure if the fix all will appear here, or mouse over, mouse hover, and then you get fix all. So this will fix all errors. Since you are not using image, we can get rid of this, the image, but we will use our logo here, so we can keep it. Can use image here. Then save that. So let's see what you get in here. Oh, the logo required, just a second. Let's see the sizes here. So I want to get this size, so it should help us. We just need the size, the size. So we need the size. This is the size, and then also add area. And for the name, you can actually change the name, but before changing the name, let's just go ahead. Let's change this one to my portfolio. This is what we get. So the logo, you need to change the logo, and then also we need to change the menu style. For the menu template, so here, if you go, the template actually depend on where you are using it. So for example, here you can remove everything here, and then just save that. This is what we get. So this depends on what you want to, how you want to show it. For text footer, we can also check also, we don't want to style the text here. All right, but this is it for now. If you want to add additional information, for example here, let's see what we have got in here. This is the font. This is the font you are using, so you can actually remove this font here. Instead of using it here, just add to layout. Go to layout and add this one here. Add this font here. So this will still work. We just want to clean up a little bit. So the what? Okay, this one. I want to talk about this margin. Margin also we can copy. You can have margin and then a padding bottom. All of this. These are things you can use it in here. The rest you can just get rid of the rest. The rest of the styling. So we'll change the styling. All right. So if you save that, just wait for the template to reload a little bit. So this is what we have. You can still work a little bit on changing this. Okay. Um, if you want to, you can also change this to go in the middle, but we don't want this now. We don't want to style this. We don't want to style this because this is grid. If you want to use a grid for this one, you can use it. We don't want to style this. We don't want to focus on that. We just working on the footer. So this is the footer. We will come back to footer to change all of this one. Okay. And my screen also it was a little bit smaller, so now I increase to 100% the font size. So this is what we have. You will change the logo and all of this, the rest. You can actually just change this one now so that we can move further. So my logo, we don't have logo. We will work on the logo. So I have mine. So you can go and you can go ahead and change yours. So we don't want to redirect to any site. Even this one can change. Just change to portfolio or my portfolio. Uh, and then 2025. What else? The rest we just keep it as the way it is. So we'll change this one because you haven't set the logo yet. So you can, if you save that, and then this one also can set my portfolio. Right. Okay. So for now we can go ahead and add the header before getting back to the logo business. Let's work on the header and then the body, the menu block. We will work on that later. So I just want to show you how we can um, fix the styling, and then so that you can now complete now the pages, the rest of the page. All right. So for the header also, header 2, you can go to Flowbit, search for header. Uh, and search for header. Mm, or just go to blocks and find some headers here. So you can find any of this one you can use. I don't know which one, this one or any of this one, any of the header, but some that are free, so you need to sign up. So if you can choose to just go with this one, it's actually fine. You can copy this one and then go back to our application. We can change this header. So remember to do the same thing. So to change the class to class name, so you can mouse hover. This will give you option to edit, to fix all. And then image also, we will change that. You can change to image. We need to import the image. Import image, and then we can add wide to 16, and then also height to 16. Okay. So this is the header we got here. The rest you can work on cleaning it up. So for the button, since we didn't install the Flowbit, so we need to change this some style here because we are not using the flow bit. We just copy the styling, which is a default of Tailwind CSS. So you can search for premium since Flowbit use premium, so you can search for premium, change to your preferred color, your desired color, say to green, change to green, and then now you get green here, and then also green there. So I can see that the global, you can change the global. I need to change mine since my browser, which was small, the font size was small, so that's why I was seeing my text a little bit smaller. All right, so this is it, but you can change the color for the header. If you see by default, the header is white, the color is white. So if you want, you can change it, or you can also add, just add a separate border. So you can do border top, border bottom, sorry, border bottom, and then you can set color. Now we have color for the border, so this will separate, at least the user can see that the header starts from here. So this depends on you. I'm just showing you how you can install it a little bit. So the rest here, we will change the name, to my portfolio. Okay, all right. What else do you need here? You'll need to change the logo. You need to change this. Instead of marketplace and the company, we can actually match to use here. We need to instead of the theme, so we can change the menu to use things. For example, here we need a way to access to navigate to our blog. First of all, here is the blog, the menu. So we need to make a little bit change on there so that you can match. You see here we don't have much we are using in here. So if you copy, go to home page. This is our home page. The home page default is this the page, the default page, which is on our app folder. So for this one, we don't want to much of this. Oh, sorry, we don't want much of this style of these classes. We're just going to replace with a little bit of styling here, and then that's it. So this is now the home, but we need a way to navigate to blog. So we can set here blog. If you go to our header, um, the last one is you have login, getting start. For mobile, this is mobile, so remember also for mobile to change. Mobile is now, if you go to small screen, you see now we have mobile here, but it won't work until you fix it manually, because since you are not using a Flowbit, so you need to change that one. For mobile, first of all, for main screen, this is our main screen. Start from here. Login. Okay, we need we can replace this one, contact, because we want to change this to block. Save that, and this will show us block here. Okay, we have a block here, but for block, we first of all need to replace a anchor tag with the link. So this one here, we're going to replace this with a link, with the Next.js link, so that we don't have to reload the whole page, the whole the the whole thing. Once you are reloading, you are navigating to the page. So allow me to just do manually, since we have anchor tag, we have match a here. So this we won't be able. I won't be able to change or to change all of them at once. I don't know how, but let me just do it this way. So we just need to change all of this. And this one, I hope this is the last one. No, still have the one more to go. Okay, so now we need to redirect to blog. We need to go to blocks, not block, at blog. And if now you save this, you don't have any error. Nope, no error. So we want to navigate to blog. Okay, this is now the blog. All right, so we can navigate to contact and about. You can change that one to about. Um, can navigate. This is instead of this one, can navigate to about, and then this one we're just going to put about. So the following one is instead of company, we'll have here projects. We don't have the route slash projects or plural. Marketplace, we don't have marketplace. We have project, and I don't know what else is there. So you can put anything you want to put it there. We also have resume. Set of feature, you can say resume. This one change also. So this one change to resume. Resume. Save that and contact. I'm sure pretty much this is it. Marketplace we don't have. Instead of marketplace, we'll have instead of marketplace, we'll have service, and just navigate to service. So project, service, resume, contact, and blog. And then we have login. This is login. So if you save that, if you hit a URL, router doesn't exist, so we'll get 404. For example, can try the service, you don't have it. We get 404, page not found. So we need to create this route and then start adding more pages. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. This is it. This is the power of Next.js. So you can build a whole project, a big project in just a couple of hours, couple of minutes. You can actually work a lot. Right, so if you haven't subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button and enable that notification. Make sure also to give us a thumb up. All right, let's go and add more routes so that we can now start adding more features to our project. All right, so first of all, let's go and create this the missing routes. We can go back to our application. For now, we can close this one. We'll get back to this later. Let's go ahead and create missing templates. All right, so we have we need to create a service, but before creating that, I want to show you that we need, if you go to home page, this is our home page. First of all, we need to copy this one. So we can go to our home page. Since we want to reuse the same template, we can just copy this and create now service. And in the service, okay, to avoid maybe conflict, I don't know, just create. We just create, so we'll see if we get any error in feature. And then press this one here. So we need to go, sorry, just a little bit. Okay, or you can also just try to find out component, sorry, then footer, then header. So save that. So this is supposed to be service. If you go to service, this is the service. You can copy this one. So we need another route. Since we have contact, which one is missing? Resume. Resume is missing, so we need to create a resume. Let's create a resume. If you save that, see now the resume is there. So we want to see which one again is missing. Resume, go to block, service, project. Project is missing. And page dot tsx, and then just place this in here. All right, so at least you need to change the name here so that it doesn't confuse you. Just check, just set here anything, it's okay, it doesn't matter. It's called project, and then also this can call to resume, so that it doesn't complicate you in the future. Okay, can also call this block, and this one call it service. You can call it a page or service or anything, it doesn't matter. All right, contact, we have contact. Yes, we have contact, but we need to edit the template. Contact, no, cannot find it that way. Need to go to contact and then change everything in here. All right, so now we have I'm sure we have almost all our template. Um, we have almost our template. So now we just need to set different things. So we don't have a login. We don't have login yet. So we can also create the login template. Um, this one you can call it auth and then page. So if you want, you could create login. You could create login and then sign up. So this depends on how you want to do it. But to make things simple, we're just going to create a page here. I don't want to have different templates. I just want to have one template here. And then just can call this login. So from this one, I don't need to have a footer or header. So I don't need this one. I don't need the footer or header. So I can just set this one. So if you reload, you want to see the login. Oh, so now if you change this one, if you decide not to have login, you must change the go to header, and then where you are redirecting here, instead you can redirect to login. You can redirect to login. So this depends on how you want to handle it. You can just call it redirect to login. Action is equal to login. So this is auth. This is auth. So for the login template, you can decide, since we don't have much in there, you can decide to just instead to have flex like this, have a flex, um, flex, and then justify center, and then this one just wrap this in another div. Don't worry, we will get the login. We can also speed up by getting just a login template from Flowbit. Flowbit, sorry. Okay, we don't need this one too. Looks like we have something doesn't exist there. Center. So this will put our template in the center here. You can find a login here. So login form. So this is the login. We have a different one. So you can choose which one you want. You can choose this one. Just copy this one and then use this here. Yeah, can just use this somewhere here. And remember to do the same thing. So mouse hover on control dot to fix all. So I need to fix all. Sorry, fix all. If we save that, go back to our template. This is what we have. But you can also so what I usually like to do is to give AI, so AI to speed up, can help me speed up. LG. So you can set to LG or you can set to full. This one to wide to full. but you can also do padding. You can do padding X to maybe 6, maybe 2. So if is medium, padding X to 6, and padding Y, uh, padding Y to 8. So sorry, I'm not good in design. So what I do, I can copy, I can give AI to just help me design this properly, because I have trouble with designing. So sorry about that. So I can copy and then give to AI. So AI can design this, can clean up this one. So AI can clean up this. You can also give Copilot. Copilot. Uh, let's clean up this code. So this, the Copilot, the AI will be able to clean up and then just give us clean template. Because we don't want to spend much time there. You can also AI can also ask. You can also ask AI to complete. Let's complete the sign in or sign out. Sign in or sign up functions and request. Yeah. So this will speed up your development, so you don't have to type everything. So AI will be able to just work on all this one. So just give you the template so that you can also make your life easy. So this will this now will be our back end. If you want to use our back end, but let's just copy this one first. Let's go to our form. Okay, post this one here. I have a couple of things. So since we are using TypeScript, that's why you're seeing this. You are seeing this warning. So you need to fix them. You can also ignore them for now, and you can also tell AI that you are using TypeScript. Uh, yeah, so that we don't have to fix all of these errors. All right, so you can use AI, choose between Chat GPT uh, or use Copilot, so to help you handle your work. So I'm just going to paste this one here. Now save this, go back to, I can close this one, go back to our application. So since we are using this, since we have some components which are server side, so we need to use it from our back end, from our front end, sorry. So you can use, say, use client. So this will tell Next.js that's okay. This is, we can use some of the component on our front end. Right, so this is what we have. There's not much there, but I just switch to sign up. So sign up, this is actually the sign up, so you can we have sign up and sign in. So for the design, it looks like AI didn't do much, so we will work on that, don't worry. But another thing also, you see, AI created the sign up method, which we can use in our back end. So you just copy this one and then you use it in the back end. So we'll get back to this one, but for now let's focus on what we are working on. All right, so this is it, but we have much more to work. What we can do, since we have a little bit of problem here navigating back, we can remove this and add this within the form if you want, within the form, so that you can navigate back. This will help you to add the navigation. You can wrap this. Actually, you could actually get a nice sign up template from Flowbit, but we don't have to do that. You can design by yourself if you want. 1 to 6. But we can also do flex, the item center. We want to show a back here, say back button. So we can do link. We can do link, or you can do the thing is, you want to navigate to home page, so we can just use this one and add navigate back to home page. So for that, you can also use icon svg. You can also use svg to use the svg, sorry, to use svg icon for navigation, navigating back. But you need to import the link. Import the link from Next.js. We don't have any error. All right. Okay. You need to navigate back, but we can also get the link from svd. You can also get the link from what you call that, React icon, React icons. Let's say svg. Can also get from here, but here I'm not sure if you get the one actually you need. If you see it here, to get it is a bit tricky. I don't know how to get it from here. There's this one, Tailwind, called the Tailwind CSS icon, svg icons, which I usually know. Hero, this is the one. So you can, here you can actually use the icons, so back icon or arrow back, arrow left. This is a arrow left, so you can use arrow left. This one, we just need svg. Which one? All right, let's see what one we copied from. Yeah, this was actually React. So if you save that one, and I want to see, yeah, we need this one. But for this one, what we can do is you wrap this in a span. Sorry, I hope I'm not that fast. I don't want the video to be long. So wrap this in a span and then class. So you can do flex and then item center and then space between the two. So we add this one. Remember what was sorry. Also wrap this in a another the right. Remember to wrap this in another span. So you can, if you save that, now we have something like this one. So if you click, this now will take us back to home page. So you can navigate back to login, which now the action is equal to login. uh, Navigate back. All right, so I hope we have all the routes, all the setups route. So this is it, how simple it is with working with the Next.js. So it's very powerful. I can tell you, you have seen that it's very powerful. You can set up the whole application with just a matter of minutes. So this is very useful compared to plain React library, which you have to set up everything by yourself and then connect with Node.js, Express, set up the server, all of that. So with the Next.js, everything is already set for you. So you just have to come and start building. All right, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button and enable the notification. My name is Shaban Muswamba. Okay, let's get started by designing and adding some features to our application. Thank you for watching.